all over the continent, there's a dearth of knowledge about pre-colonial Africa, and actually, sadly, also inside Africa itself, let alone outside of the continent. It seems to many people that Africa's history begins with the European presence. And of course, that's not the case at all. And in the 18 chapters in my book, it's only in chapter 14 that I begin with the transatlantic slave trade. And subsequently, those chapters do look at the presence of the Europeans and the detrimental impact of their activities on the continent. So I was very keen to ensure that people understood that Africa, which is after all where everybody came from, it's the oldest continent, or the oldest continent in terms of the human presence, actually has the longest history, and yet ironically it's the shortest in most people's minds. I think if you said to most people, name a couple of kings or queens of Africa, I should think most people would say Tutankhamun. They'd be hard-pressed to give him a date. And I'm not sure they'd come up with many more names. So it is that level of ignorance that I wanted to tackle in the book. But for me also, who is telling the story of Africa's history was just as important, which is why it's called An African History of Africa, because my sources are predominantly of African historians, archaeologists, anthropologists, and it seems to me that they have been denied their rightful place on the global intellectual stage.